Hi, I'm Jessica Beaudry, VP of Operations for Virtus Therapy. I'm a physical therapist assistant with a passion for serving elders. Being in the senior living space for several years now, I've come to realize that the well-being of our elders is so much more than just healing the physical body. We have to look at the whole person, mind, body, and spirit. Sherri Berghoff is on a mission to do just that, and I'm excited to introduce One Purpose Senior Adventures, founded by Sherri. One Purpose Senior Adventures is a non-for-profit organization that grants bucket list wishes to seniors with limited means. If you hang with us for a few minutes, we're going to share with you how you can nominate someone for a bucket list adventure and how you can support OPS's mission. So Sherri, was there one event that initially inspired you to create OPS Adventure? I hear it might involve a road trip with your mom.
Yeah, something a little like that. So, Jessica, working in healthcare, the time that we have sometimes to spend with our family and our friends is limited. So, about, I guess now 8 years ago, I think it was, I got to visit my mom. I only get to see her a couple of times a year, and normally we do the shopping and go out to eat. But this time I said, Mom, what do you want to do? And she said, Well, I think I'd like to go zip lining. I'm like, Well, Mom, you're deathly afraid of heights. And she said, I know, but it's something I've always wanted to try to do. So we went zip lining. It was amazing. And that's not really what started the whole thing. What started the whole thing was then my dad saw that I was kind of starting to do these adventures with my mom. And he said, Well, I think I'd like to try ziplining too. And so I scheduled in and took my dad ziplining. And then it got to be routine where I was scheduling these adventures, checking these things off my parents' bucket list that I saw the health benefits it was having. And it wasn't the actual event itself, it was the anticipation of the event coming up where I saw the improvement in their health, where they had something to look forward to. And I thought, man, I think I'm onto something here. I think this is something I can do. I can do this for other people. I can give them something to look forward to, check something off their bucket list, and, see those good health benefits come from having something to plan for and look forward to.
We always say, and it's in the name of your organization, purpose, that people need purpose, and it doesn't have to be some huge purpose to save the world. People just need to feel purposeful, and I think you really did hit on something there. I love it.
Yeah.
So, how many adventures have you granted so far, and can you share your favorite?
Yeah. Total number, I think I got to remember, we're a young organization, so we're only
Hmm.
not even a year into this, so a little, maybe a little over a year actually. But I think we've granted six now.
Oh.
And I would have to say my favorite, while they're all very special in their own way, my favorite is taking the gentleman out to the Quest Observatory. It was such a simplistic request, but just his reaction to being there, his reaction to seeing the stars, the volunteers from the Quest Observatory that really invested their time in making sure that it was a wonderful experience for him, and then just him at the end saying, I don't really want to go home, I really would just like to stay here all night. um,
Oh.
you know to say I just want to get out of the city and see the stars, and then the reaction on his face when he was able to do that was just priceless. Like, yeah, I don't think I'll ever forget that first look on his face. So
It's going to stick with you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I follow One Purpose on social media, Facebook particularly. And if you guys aren't following One Purpose on Facebook, go do that now. It's a really nice page. And I was really humbled by the simplicity of the requests. Um, the stargazing was one that I picked up on. One where a someone wanted to just spend the day road tripping with their daughter.
Hmm.
It's lovely. probably my favorite,
Yeah.
is staying overnight in a hotel in a king size bed and ordering room service.
Yeah.
And so that also really hit home with me that these aren't like nobody's requesting for a week long vacation at Disney, right? And so I was really surprised to learn that maybe my family could fund a wish just by maybe buying one less Christmas present each year.
Yeah.
And I love that with a small donation, you could grant an entire wish.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, like the Quest Observatory trip, really, it cost us virtually nothing to do that. We did make a donation to the Quest Observatory in honor of those volunteers that came out that evening. So, really, that was all that that adventure cost us. But, um, the special thing about it is what you just said, the simplicity. I really thought when I started this organization, I was going to get to go skydiving and, take these adventures that I'd been doing with my mom, like hot air balloon rides and whitewater rafting and those kinds of things. But you mentioned the gentleman who got to spend the night at the Conrad Hotel in Indianapolis and order anything and everything he wanted off of room service. But I'll tell you, the humbling part of his request that doesn't often get mentioned is that he said on his application, well, if I can't do that, could you at least buy me some new sweatpants and some new gym shoes? So that part of it doesn't get told, right? That's simplistic because we're serving those who don't have means, who probably have never experienced much of these kinds of things in their life. I mean, I take staying in a hotel for granted. I've been doing it as part of my career for, and I get tired of staying in hotels. But so we made sure too, not only did he spend the night in the hotel, not only did he get to order room service, but when he got up to his hotel room, there was a whole new wardrobe and a couple of pairs of shoes and all of that. So, yeah, some of the requests are pretty humbling.
I love that. And I think that it's amazing that you just take the time and energy. You can do so much for someone with just a little bit of time,
Yeah,
a little bit of elbow grease at times.
yeah.
So, how do we go about nominating an elder?
So we do, if you go to our webpage, there's an application right on our webpage. So really anybody can nominate at any time. But of course, if somebody doesn't want to do that, emailing me directly, calling me on the phone, we try to make it simple for people to be able to do this. I guess what I would like is, if you don't have somebody in mind though, just spread the word. Like you might not know somebody who could take an adventure, but the people in your circle might know someone who could take an adventure or benefit from an adventure. So spread
So,
the word.
we could nominate our neighbors, anybody, right? It doesn't have to be somebody living in senior living.
Typically, we want to look at someone that would qualify for Medicaid waiver.
Okay.
So they have to meet some financial qualification. And oftentimes, we are finding those individuals that are living in assisted living or a skilled nursing center.
So, I promised to tell people how they can support OPS mission. Can you tell us about the annual fundraiser this year, 2023?
Yeah, so we're hosting a masquerade ball with a little bit of a twist because it's also a casino night. This will be our second one. Last year we did a speakeasy theme. This year we're doing masquerade, but it's a really fun way to come out, have some fun, play gambling with your money, and then using your winnings to be able to bid on some auction items. And then we also have a live auction too during the event to help raise some funds. So it's a really fun night, but also a way to give back to the organization.
And where is the event going to be held?
It's at Orchard Ridge. So if you're from the Fort Wayne area, it's on Lower Huntington Road. But all of the information's on our Facebook page and on our website.
And if somebody can't attend, if they're not in the area, is there a way that they can still support the event?
Absolutely. So again, on our Facebook page or on our website, there's a click link that you can go to donate or buy tickets.
And I already have my ticket because one of the items on my bucket list is to attend a masquerade ball. So I'm super excited about that. If someone doesn't have a gown or doesn't want to spend the money to go out and get a gown, they absolutely can come just dressed in formal attire.
Absolutely. Or not even formal attire. It doesn't really matter to us how you come dressed. It's all about supporting the cause and having a good time. But there will be people dressed up, and there will be an opportunity at the door to buy a mask if you didn't buy a mask ahead of time. So that will also support our mission. So it should be a lot of fun.
Oh, I wasn't aware. It's good to know. What's still on your bucket list, Sherri?
A few things actually. So you ought to know me by now, Jessica. I'm a dreamer, right? So every time I check one thing off, I've got probably 10 or 15 more things that I add on. So I've never been to Lambeau Field. I would love to go to Lambeau Field, not because I'm a Green Bay Packer fan, but I'm a Vince Lombardi fan. Just because I thought he was a really good coach, and I use a lot of his coaching techniques in my own business practice. So Lambeau Field is on my bucket list. I've not been to Italy yet, and man, I'd sure love to eat my way through Italy and drink some wine.
I think that as we get older, it's so important to realize that we can still have a bucket list, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes we can put ourselves in a box and say, maybe I'm not as mobile as I used to be, but everybody can still have a bucket list, and you should, because it's going to give you that purpose, like what you talked about with your parents.
yeah,
But I do think my bucket list has changed as I got older, for sure. I'm prioritizing different things than maybe what I used to. Traveling is definitely one of them.
yeah. What's on your
So
list?
we What's on my list? Oh my goodness. So I'll give you some of my more simple ones. I have a huge list, but right now I have never had a fire on a beach. And you watch the movies where people are sitting on the beach and somebody's got a guitar and there's a fire on the beach. So I'm looking for some place that will allow me to have a fire on a beach. So simple, but something I'm really looking forward to.
Very cool. Very cool.
So we hope to see everybody on April 21st. You can go to their website, which is what, Sherri?
opsadventures.org.
And do you have a certain amount of money that you're trying to raise this year? Do you have a goal?
We do. We, as a group, as a committee, we set $25,000 goal.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's see how many bucket list wishes we can grant.